guys, welcome back to It's a Sweet and Savory Life. Oh, I hope you're having a great day. I know I certainly am. Today's recipe is honestly one of those kind of what's for dinner tonight. Have you ever had one of those recipes in mind where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna make it this specific way, and this is how it's gonna turn out. And then as you make it, it doesn't turn out exactly like you thought it would, but it ends up being one of those favorites, and you're just like, guys, I have to make this again. Well, that was this recipe. It's our Chicken Parmesan Meatballs. So basically, I just threw a bunch of stuff together like you'll see here, and I'll list all these spices off here in just a minute. But I mixed everything together, and then I fried them in the pan with a little bit of canola oil, and then I just threw together my sauce and pasta. They were so easy and so good. So basically, I just have ground chicken, breadcrumbs, lemon pepper seasoning, dried oregano, Parmesan cheese, garlic sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, dried parsley, and fresh spinach. And you see, honestly, I'm at the point of adding the spinach. It was something I thought of adding to make it a little healthier, give it a little more green to the plate. I really should have just chopped up the spinach instead of tearing it like I did. It definitely would have incorporated a lot better. But, you know, you live and you learn and you figure it out. And you'll see me just kind of mix everything together. Like I said, this is a recipe we threw together. I thought chicken parm meatballs, how hard can it be? Just a really good seasoned chicken meatball, add some sauce to it, melt some cheese on top, and it would be delicious, right? Which it would be, but these were also so freaking good. I honestly think I'm gonna take this spice mixture, even though I don't have an exact measurement. I just added a bunch until I got honestly, the way it smelled good to me. And once I reached that point and it smelled super flavorful, that's kind of where I stopped. And I just shaped the meatballs into really little, like smaller than golf ball size meatballs, because this was only half a pound of ground chicken that Tim and I had to use. And we're trying to be a little more frugal when it comes to, one, our portion size, because we need to eat less, let's just face it. And two, you know, we're under quarantine just like everybody else, or, you know, the lockdown stay at home order, if you will. So we're trying to stretch our budget, and we are trying to stretch our meat budget for sure. So we're only using half a pound of ground chicken here. So I wanted to make sure we got nice, hearty, yummy, delicious meatballs, and, you know, a large amount of them on our plate. And we ended up getting about 8 meatballs a piece, which I was really, really happy with. And honestly, when there were that many little meatballs, I was able to save for myself 4 out of my 8 meatballs for lunch the next day. Tim, not so much. He ate all of his, but that's totally fine. I just really wanted to save some for lunch the next day because they were that delicious. So you see them here kind of in the oil. They're shaped. The spinach and the Parmesan cheese are kind of sticking out. I was completely okay with that because the spinach got a little crispy and the Parmesan cheese just created this nice cheesy coat on them, and oh my goodness, they were so good. And you can see here how they just browned so beautifully on the sides. Now, I probably should have added an egg, or like I said before, chopped up the spinach into really small pieces, because they were so small, they were having a harder time sticking together if there were big clumps of spinach in it. But you live and you learn, and next time I'll chop it up really, really finely, and it'll be so good. So good. They were so crunchy too, like perfectly just crispy and decadent, and oh my god, they were so good, you guys. You have to give it a try. And I will say, honestly, because these meatballs were so small, they cooked so quickly. So quickly. So I was able to make the meatball mixture and cook all the meatballs in the time that it took my pasta water to boil and to cook my pasta. So really, I had the only step left once the meatballs were finished was just to make my sauce. But you see here, look at that golden crust on those little meatballs. They were so good. But you see here in the bottom of the pan, I'm just honestly pouring in jarred tomato sauce right in here. Now, this tomato sauce, I did the Prego brand meat flavored sauce, is not our favorite. It's just one that we had in the cupboard. It needed to use it up. It was a bit older than the other ones that we had, and it's a little sweet for my personal taste. I definitely preferred other brands, but I'm not going to complain about having a jar of pasta sauce in my cupboard. So I just heated that through, got all the bits off the bottom of the pan, and then I tossed the cooked pasta in there. We are using bucatini pasta. If you've never had bucatini or heard of bucatini, it's basically like a small straw. The pasta has a nice thick ring and there is a hole in the center. So it really, if you allow it to, absorbs a lot of pasta sauce, and it's really, really delicious. The texture on it is just so amazing. And it's one of our favorites. We actually had it for the first time when we were in Italy last summer, and it's Tim's favorite pasta, and I'm so happy that I was able to find it at my local Price Chopper. So now that everything is coated together, the sauce you can see is really stuck to those noodles. I'm just scooping it onto a plate and putting on some of the meatballs. You know, this is where I thought, oh, I'll melt cheese on top of the meatballs, but I decided to just let it be, leave it all natural, and I much more preferred it that way for sure, because the meatballs had so much flavor, you guys, so much flavor. Oh, I'm definitely gonna be making these again for sure. I mean, just look at it. Look how yummy that looks. And this, we dished it up, added some Parmesan cheese and made a salad and garlic bread with it. My quarantine garlic bread, definitely check that video out. But that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye.